And I think that the best way to start today's entry is by thanking all people who continues to listen to us through you guys watching or listening to this video blog entry. You're on YouTube, but keep in mind that our main content, in fact, is the podcast with over 100 episodes published to date. We would like to thank the 82 countries that keep listening to us. And as of this end of July, we are reaching 567 cities throughout the world. I really want to thank everyone for keep listening to us and for the great number of listeners that keep following us. And after this very sincere appreciation, I wanted to share with you if you've been watching some of our videos that are made for kids, shorts that are made for kids. I have baby Koshka here by my side, and he's purring. For what I can see, he loved the area that we are about to talk about today. So, what are we talking about today? Today, we are talking about pyrotechnics. This thing that everybody likes because we somehow have the opportunity to listen to all the amazing sounds that the voice can do. I would also like to remind you that we just started in July the season 8 that is covering a number of those areas that are full of pyrotechnics. We started with as we said in that program, with an easy one, the Meinherr Marquis from the Fledermaus, and we are publishing the second episode of that season on the second week of August. This weekend, this first weekend of August, we are publishing a live video program along with Katia. In fact, I can tell you that we are planning to dissect Simi Chiama no Mimi. So if you feel like it, that's what it's going to be about. But let's get down to business. And before we talk about the three singers that I would like to share with you on the renditions of the Amore al Dolce Impero, I would like to first put you on the screen, and I just committed a mistake. Yeah, now it's correct. I wanted to share with you on the screen part of the score of this, from my perspective, one of the most difficult arias. It will come the time when we talk about the aria of the Queen of the Night, which is of course difficult because of the F sharp that is required for that aria and the number of ornaments, but the number of ornaments in the Queen of the Night aria compared to the Amore al Dolce Impero, the Queen's aria, it's a game compared to these masters or doctorates degree that sopranos that have gone for this aria have needed to reach. Why? Just as you can see on the screen, there are way too many things happening. The soprano is required to address her lowest chest notes, and as you can see in the part that we have at the beginning, and there are many, way too many ornaments, scales, trills, um, and everything that came to the mind of Maestro Rossini. So this almost impossible aria to sing is what is going to be our topic today. And so I'm going to be sharing with you three sopranos that I have pre-selected for that purpose. But first things first, with that obsession of comparing and proving that we are the smartest guy in the room. Yes. You have this version, but you forgot Christine Tongtacom who sang in ta ta ta. Yes. But you forgot to mention Montserrat Caballé who did a recording, blah blah blah. Remember that in this channel, it is not about competition. It is not about who is right. It is not about who knows the greatest number of recordings or interpreters of a given area. This is a place for enjoying, analyzing, dissecting, and moreover, for informed critical thinking. So, the first thing that I want to say is that One, I would like to extend to confirm that any soprano, even the fact of daring, forget if she did it well, but at least daring to sing this takes great courage. Not any singer is willing to expose herself in singing this aria. The results, of course, are different, and we all are born with a given voice. So when of course, we develop the technique, but and you will notice when we talk about the difference between June Anderson and Callas. Of course, June Anderson didn't have the stamina of the voice of Callas, at least of the 1952 Maria Callas, right? But that is not June Anderson's fault. It's just that Callas was given that instrument. So we shouldn't base our comparison on things that were given by birth to a given singer. What we can talk about is the technique, the interpretation on the other things that are really what they developed. So ma- trying to make a positive comparison, positive in the sense that we are going to cite the difficulties and what I find good on one interpretation and not that good on the other. But please just recall what I just mentioned. First, any soprano willing even to try this one deserves my admiration because it really, really takes great courage to even try to sing it. Results vary, yes. And before you also say, yes, yes, but you forgot Rene Fleming, who also did this, and this, and this. Yeah, I narrowed it to three with no particular uh, scale. It is not that these ones are the top three or anything like that. These are just three selections. If you want, and I don't know if there is because there are many videos on the internet. If there is a video on the internet where it says, "Hey, 10 versions of the Moral Dolce Impero," well, maybe you can try that one. But these ones are three that I pre-selected. And so let's get started because this video is about that one and we are almost reaching the end and we haven't even started. And this one, I am going to start now with Renata Scotto. Truth is, I didn't know Renata Scotto had even tried this aria, but as we said earlier, if not just for the effort, just for trying, they really deserve our admiration. And as such, we are going to listen at how she wraps up this area. If you ask me, out of the three that I am presenting today, Renata is the one who has more trouble with the pyrotechnics and the dynamics of the area. I am not saying that it is a bad version, but I think it required characteristics a little more different than the voice of Renata, but still, I think the effort of trying is really worthwhile. I really didn't notice she was comfortable throughout the whole area, and as I just mentioned, one of the things is that this is one of the longest coloratura arias ever. This is around 7 minutes from the very beginning, so this is really a tour de force for the soprano. Still, our appreciation to Renata Scotto for giving us in the 1975, for giving us her rendition of the Moral Dolce Impero. Now, second, we are having June Anderson. June Anderson is a very well-known soprano who built her career mostly on the coloratura roles. There is one thing that I must confess that I don't like about June Anderson's voice, and it is that it lacks the brightness of many sopranos who sing these roles. Um, there is something in her technique and in her voice that doesn't give her this brightness as other voices with similar repertory have, such as Beverly Seals. Beverly Seals, and before you jump over my throat and say, yes, but Beverly Seals didn't have chest notes because of etc., 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 I'm just talking about the brightness in the voice. Still, June Anderson was a very dedicated soprano, and I also learned that she sang the Amore al Dolce Impero year 1988. From my perspective, she's very smart in managing her resources. She doesn't throw out everything at once or keeps everything just to explode at the end. So she manages fairly well her resources, and I think she does a fair job with this one, taking into account that this one really is one of the most difficult coloratura arias ever. I think she did a nice job on it, and this is how she wraps up her aria. For many people, the thing about June Anderson, and as you could listen and watch it yourself, is that she doesn't have enough stamina for the role, because the role of Armida, she's a sorcerer and she's not a cool girl. She's a tough one. So many people think she's lacking that stamina, but remember what I mentioned earlier in this video. We are given a voice, so it is not June Anderson's fault that her voice doesn't have the stamina, as it is going to be the case of the third example that I am sharing with you today. And of course, it has to be Maria Callas Armida. Maria Callas sang the Armida role in the year 1952 in Firenze. Of course, we are talking about Italy. Not so many people know about this recording. Thanks, I have a couple of decades with a CD recording of her complete Armida. So, of course, the Amore al Dolce Impero is the one that stands out because of the difficulty, but the complete opera is, oh my god, it's so out of reach for 95 or 99% of the singers. Still, now we have what I was sharing earlier. Maria Callas at this year 1952 still has that power in her voice. So of course it's like a panther, like a lioness singing the Amore al Dolce Impero, which of course make her more believable as a sorcerer. But that is something that was given to her. The dedication to work on the ornaments and hair technique, that's what is on her side. So we have a soprano who studied, who did her job, and a powerful voice to demonstrate how Armida needs to be sung. And you will notice that maybe Maria does a little too much for wrapping up her the Amore al Dolce Impero. And just a quick note that you can always find the comments and more information description of the areas that I keep sharing if you feel like it. Maybe we will do a separate video on some of those comments. But so far, I hope that you looked at if this three please you. If not, you can look for more versions. You can look for Montserrat Caballés. Personally, I like Montserrat Caballés a lot. I might explain on a later video why. So I prefer personally, from a technical standpoint, I like Caballés a lot more. Of course, Caballé doesn't have the high notes that Callas or June Anderson have, so you can't have it all, right? Well, thank you for watching and see you around next time.